Massive fish and bird kills in Arkansas. Up to 5,000 blackbirds just fell from the sky in the town of Beebe. This happened just before midnight on New Year's Eve. And then tonight, we're learning that some 100,000 fish have washed up on the shores of the Arkansas River, which is about 125 miles from where the birds fell. And joining us now by phone from Little Rock is Keith Stevens. He's the spokesman for the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission. Keith, Jackie Jarris also here with us. What is going on here? These are two very unusual circumstances.
Pretty strange things going on here in Arkansas. Unusual events that we don't often see. We do have fish die-offs from time to time. Obviously, this is a pretty large one, so it's got our attention. The birds, that's really unusual. We've had birds that have fallen out of the sky before, but not in this number.
Yeah, we've heard of birds falling out of the sky, due to storms and thunderstorms and things like that. What do you think happened?
Well, we think that there's a possibility that maybe some New Year's Eve revelers in the area where the birds were roosting may have shot some fireworks off and stressed the birds to the point where they actually died.
We're talking now in the break. You think it might have literally been that they had heart attacks because they were so it was such a fright for them.
It's possible. We're going to send the birds off to two testing facilities where they'll do necropsies on them, and we'll find out exactly what happened. But this, it's really pointing towards that right now. It obviously could be a weather event, but we're kind of leaning the other way.
Yeah, and this was, 5,000 birds. That's a lot of birds, and they were scattered across a pretty large area as well. Can you give us a few more details? People woke up, and the birds were in their yards.
That's right. It happened just before midnight. One of our wildlife officers was actually on the scene. By the time he got there, there were still birds that were falling. It's a rural area of Arkansas, and there's a lot of blackbirds that tend to migrate around the agricultural fields in the state. And they were roosting in an area where they typically roost, and there was some people that in the subdivision that were shooting some fireworks off in celebration of New Year's and may have caused this. We just don't know at this point.
And Keith, back to the fish. What are the different things? You said that this isn't entirely, it happens from time to time, although this is a big one. What are the different reasons for a fish kill like this?
Well, most of the time when we do have fish kills, it's low oxygen levels. The fish can't breathe, or the water's too warm for our trout, but they're usually really small. Sometimes we do have diseases that will kill fish, but they're usually very small. This was a pretty wide area, about 20 miles of the Arkansas River, but it was only one species of fish, so we feel like that we'll narrow it down to some kind of a disease.
What are people in Arkansas saying there, Keith? This is kind of weird. Two pretty strange things in 2 days.
Well, we're just waiting on the locust, I guess, to come in next.
Right?
It's just really strange to have those so close together. I hope that it's not a sign of anything, but you never know.